This is News 8 Now, this morning.
With the food share dollars going down as of March 1st, seniors who are on the food share enrollments are going to see their benefits drop drastically. So this is a box that we can provide to help them out.
At this point in history, the panels are historical. They're a good example of how the arts were used to draw attention to a social issue, and people are still making panels.
As she has stated to me, she is interested in teaching, so she gets to see the other side and how the whole school kind of runs on a daily basis. So that's really fun for her.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
Today is Tuesday, February 28th. What's the weather looking like? Gloomy?
Well, probably more so this evening and also into tomorrow, but I think for today we're going to start off on a clear note. But we got the clouds increasing though. So
no sun.
That's exactly what that means. And unfortunately, it really looks pretty similar throughout the rest of this week here as well, which we'll get to here a little bit later. But I do want to go ahead and talk about what's happening right now though. And as you head outside the door, you're going to be noticing, it's still a little bit icy out on the roads and sidewalks and things like that, maybe a little bit of slush, but at least we don't really have any precipitation falling. And that's because we're looking at some drier air that's getting rid of the remaining clouds. Now, that's a different story for tonight because we have another system moving in. So our northern zones especially will be looking at more so of the heavier precipitation in the form of rain and snow, but also more so snow here the further north that you go. And as a result, we got winter weather advisories in effect here for Dunn County, Chippewa County, as well as into Rusk County. This is going to start at midnight and go until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Current temperatures are into the upper 20s, low 30s the further south that you go, such as Prairie du Chien, around 30 degrees. So here's a look at the planner here for the rest of the morning. Skies looking mostly clear to partly cloudy and then mostly cloudy starting late this morning, and then really just continue throughout the rest of the afternoon. Skies will continue to increase with cloud cover, limiting the sunshine with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. So we'll talk more about that, plus that snow that could be on the way for our northern communities as we head into this evening in the full weather forecast later. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. After nearly 30 years, panels from the AIDS Memorial Quilt are on display at UW La Crosse. The memorial quilt, which can stretch over 55 miles, is the largest ongoing memorial in the world. It's designed to educate and teach people about the HIV and AIDS epidemic. The gallery's director says she hopes this display encourages students to learn the story and see how it affects today.
At this point in history, the panels are historical. They're a good example of how the arts were used to draw attention to a social issue, and people are still making panels.
Some of the panels include La Crosse residents who died from the epidemic. It's also a part of UWL's Art Fest, where students can work on making their own panels. If you would like to see the quilt, it will be on display at UWL's University Art Gallery through April 7th. What makes a hero, and how do you know if someone is one? Students at Warrens Elementary School will tell you they've got the answer. February's Hometown Hero features a sergeant from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office who was nominated 11 times by this group of 11-year-olds.
He really just wants to keep the community safe.
Flip through the pages of a comic book and it's likely you'll find a hero.
Let's continue reading. Yeah.
If you ask the 5th graders at Warrens Elementary, they'll tell you there's one that visits their classroom all the time.
I enjoy interacting with kids and building those positive relationships.
This hero doesn't wear a cape.
He's made for the badge because in Badger, there's Badge.
Sergeant Marcus Adam Badger.
When people's days are bad and he comes in, just lights it up.
He wasn't always the man of the hour.
The first time he visited, I was a little like, why is he here?
But it's hard not to admire this member of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
I look around and all I see is smiles and laughs and stuff.
In more ways than one.
A lot of my girls in here think he's very handsome. Look at their faces.
For Sergeant Badger, his uniform represents building a connection with everyone.
It's a job we all do because we love it and we enjoy it and we want to serve the people that are in Monroe County. And for me, it's just another day I get to enjoy at work, and like I said, it's fantastic that this has happened.
Down to the youngest members of his community.
Have you seen him change somebody's day here who was having a bad day?
He's changed mine.
That's what a hero does.
Reporting in Warrens, Lou Estrar, News 8 Now.
Sergeant Badger hopes to encourage other members of the Sheriff's Department to build strong and positive relationships with kids too. If you know someone in your community who goes above and beyond, you can nominate them as a hometown hero. You can fill out the form on our website at news8000.com. Onalaska and other La Crosse area police officers went wild for wings on Monday night for a great cause. The annual Cops Gone Wild event at Buffalo Wild Wings raises money for Special Olympics Wisconsin. The highlight of the event was a wing eating contest. Special Olympics athletes and law enforcement officers dug in for bragging rights and a trophy. A sergeant for Onalaska's police department says he's glad he can help these athletes go to the state competition.
They are some of the best athletes. They are all about sportsmanship, and winning isn't the most important thing. They root for each other even though they're competitors, and it's a beautiful thing to watch, and I think a lot of people should watch that and see exactly how they carry themselves and how they conduct themselves.
Tip donations earned by officers and a portion of all food sales will go to Special Olympics Wisconsin. A Southern Bluffs second grader is principal for the day. Ava Hammis had a busy day ahead of her. On Monday, she got to read to different classes, help out at lunchtime and recess, and even met with a counselor and the superintendent to share her ideas. Ava says she was excited and a little nervous to take on the job.
My friend Rachel was custodian for a day, and she got to see where the candy apartment was, so one of the things I was telling her that I might call her down to the office and have her show me where the candy apartment was.
Ava says she was most excited to read to one of the classes. Southern Bluffs principal Maggie Main says it's a great way to get kids excited about education.
As she has stated to me, she is interested in teaching, so she gets to see the other side and how the whole school kind of runs on a daily basis. So that's really fun for her.
Has it been
It's also a fundraiser for the school's PTO. Principal for a Day and other silent auctions raised over $10,000 for the school this year. The La Crosse Battle of the Books is back. The UWL English department is hosting district competition of Battle of the Books today from 9 to 12 p.m. The event will take place in the Bluffs Ballroom Student Union. In the morning from 9 to 11:30, 4th and 5th graders from La Crosse School District elementary schools will compete in teams to see who knows their books the best. And from 12 to 2 p.m. it will be middle school students. Future educators are encouraged to attend and help cheer on the competition. Tomorrow, a conversation on education. La Crosse School District Superintendent Aaron Engel and BizNews publisher Vicki Markison will discuss enrollment, budget issues, and community relations. That program runs from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Lunda Center at Western Technical College. Anyone can attend or join the conversation virtually. We have more information on news8000.com. Heads up for drivers. Construction on La Crosse Street begins next Monday. This phase of the La Crosse Street project will reconstruct the road between 22nd Street and Losey Boulevard, including the entire intersection. According to WSDOT's website, the project is expected to be finished in May. That's not the only project beginning next week. Work will also begin on South Avenue in La Crosse. This project will put in 3 roundabouts at West Avenue, 16th Street, and Ward Avenue. There will also be pedestrian crossing improvements. WSDOT expects the project to be finished in the fall. Still ahead on your morning news, we have the details on how Xcel Energy plans to help lower-income households, and why Wisconsin leaders are asking Meta to help small business owners who've had their accounts hacked. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Matt Felton knows how challenging it can be when snow and ice aren't cleared up after a storm. The Wisconsinite is working to make his neighborhood more accessible by clearing the sidewalks of snow and ice. What makes his act of kindness unique? It's that he is a wheelchair user himself. Felton hopes to raise awareness and that more will do their part to help keep sidewalks accessible for all. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Off to a nice clear start here this morning after what was somewhat of a cloudy night here for some of us. Let's get a check now on your zone forecast. La Crosse County today, high temperatures looking somewhat seasonable into the low 40s here this afternoon. It'll be about 40 today if you're in Holmen. Meanwhile, further south, high temperatures into the mid 40s in some spots like Harpers Ferry, Prairie du Chien, way down to the south. 44, 45 degrees for you. Meanwhile, back to the north across our central zones will be mainly into the upper 30s to low 40s. And lastly, the north zones, mainly the upper 30s here can be said. So for your dog walking conditions, mostly sunny here for the morning. We'll start to see some increasing cloud cover, though, by the afternoon, giving way to mainly cloudy skies as we take you into the evening hours. Bus stop forecast this morning we go 30 degrees, mostly clear skies, but that will change to mainly cloudy skies, though, on the way back home from school. Temperatures will be at around 40 degrees. Now we'll talk more about this, plus what is to come here as we head into this evening, and a lot more in the full weather forecast in just a few minutes.
A new Xcel Energy plan wants to help some households pay their electricity or gas bills. The company has sent the state's Public Service Commission a proposal that would give $5 million a year in relief for lower income customers. An Xcel official says 20,000 customers are currently enrolled in the Wisconsin Home Energy Assistance Program. To pay for the program, Xcel customers would see a very small monthly bill increase.
The residential affordability program we propose would be funded by all customers at a cost of about $1 a month for a typical residential customer. And really the goal is to lower eligible customers for the program, lower their bills so that it's no greater than 4% of their annual household income.
Each customer would receive a max benefit of $600 a year for each Xcel service. Zeke says they expect the program to be launched and approved before the start of the next heating season. The USDA and the Hunger Task Force want to help seniors get the nutrition they need. With the monthly Senior Stock Box program, seniors will get free access to fruits and vegetables, protein, and more. The Hunger Task Force's executive director says over 1,500 seniors in La Crosse County are eligible, but only 250 are using the program. She hopes more eligible seniors will take advantage of the program once food share benefits drop.
With the food share dollars going down as of March 1st, seniors who are on the food share enrollments are going to see their benefits drop drastically. So this is a box that we can provide to help them out.
This program applies to La Crosse and Vernon County seniors ages 60 and older with a monthly household income below $1,580 a month. You can sign up for a box or to volunteer by calling the Hunger Task Force at the number on your screen. Food advocates are warning of a looming hunger cliff. Starting this week, the government is slashing pandemic-era federal funding for millions across America. CBS's Astrid Martinez has details.
For roughly 3 years, families grappling with the impact of COVID-19 shutdowns and job losses qualified for extra money to help put food on the table. Data shows the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, kept 4.2 million people out of poverty. But this past December, Congress passed a bill ending those extra SNAP benefits. 18 states already saw benefits expire in February. On March 1st, the remaining 32 states will see those emergency COVID-era payments end. Households will lose at least $95 a month, but some could see a cut of $250 or more. The SNAP deductions come as inflation has increased food prices overall about 10% from just a year ago. Meanwhile, food banks are rushing to meet an expected increase in demand.
Can you explain to us how badly the situation is?
With the prices at supermarkets now and the SNAP benefits reducing, people are just going to need more help.
And experts say elderly Americans could be hardest hit by the cuts, as they are the ones that are receiving the minimum monthly benefits.
SNAP benefits have been a lifeline for Americans struggling to feed their families during the pandemic. The extra benefits are just days away from ending, and with the cost of food rising, families are bracing for tougher times at the cash register. That's it for your consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. We're looking at a mostly clear start, as you can see behind me there from City Cam 8. Current conditions now in La Crosse, 27 degrees. We do have visibilities at around 9 miles. Our wind is coming out of the westerly direction at around 3 miles an hour. Current conditions to the north in Eau Claire, you're looking at 24 degrees, and we have visibilities at around 9 miles. So pretty good driving conditions, I should say, for La Crosse and also to the north in Eau Claire. Current temperatures across the rest of the area, mainly into those mid to upper 20s, a little bit closer to the low 30s the further south that you go, though, with forecast highs today expected to be mainly into the 30s up north, with lower 40s expected the further south that you go here this afternoon. We're going to check down your day planner. We're going to be at 36 degrees here at noon today, followed by 39 degrees at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Watch out for some scattered rain showers that could develop as we head into the early evening. We'll get to that here in a second. As of right now, all is quiet. We did see a few clouds here overnight, though, but those quickly exited the area. However, this will change, though, as we head into this evening and also heading into the day tomorrow, as winter weather advisories will go into effect starting midnight tonight and go until 6 p.m. tomorrow. But this is only for our northern communities here, so such as Dunn County, Chippewa County, as well as up north up towards Rusk County. You are all under these winter weather advisories for the possibility of some accumulating snowfall, which we'll get to here in a second. We'll go ahead and time it out on Sky Tracker. So right now, off to a nice quiet start. Notice the clouds increasing here by the time we get to late this morning. And then all of us are going to be looking at overcast conditions by around 3 o'clock. The rain showers not too far away, but here they come as we head into this evening. Once that storm system gets a little closer, the snow, however, focuses mainly to the north. The rainfall focuses mainly down to the south, though, and then this will continue into the overnight hours. Notice how that snow will continue to be mainly focused to the north, as well with the rain here focused down to the south. More of the same. Again, once again, expected as we head into tomorrow morning with the rain focused further south, the snow here and that mixed potential up towards the north. Now we'll see a bit of a break here by the time we reach tomorrow morning, more so towards the 11 o'clock hour, and then another round kind of moves in, especially up towards the north by the time we get to 6 p.m. And then the rest of us just looking at those mainly cloudy skies. So here's what we can expect for snowfall totals with this system: about 2 to 4 inches up towards the north, but the rest of us not looking at any snow. And that's because the majority of that snow will be mainly focused across our northern counties through tomorrow afternoon. So we'll get a check on your 8-day forecast, and for tomorrow we'll keep the rain snow chances there. High of 43. We're looking pretty cloudy though through the rest of this week. Highs into the upper 30s, low 40s, and low temperatures mainly into the 20s. Stay tuned. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break though with a look at what happened on this day in history for February 28th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. In case you missed it, on Saturday night, we had 4 of our area wrestlers take first at the WIA State Wrestling Tournament. Now, one of those wrestlers became just the 25th wrestler in state history to win his 4th state title, and the moment was pretty special. Let's take a look. Prairie du Chine's Rhett Koenig was trailing much of his match during the Division II 138-pound finals. It was tied with 30 seconds to go, but Koenig intentionally let his opponent up and would now trail by a point. And then just 10 seconds left in the match, Koenig got in deep on a shot and would earn the takedown to take the lead. Seconds later, the clock hit 0, and the rest was history. The entire Kohl Center on its feet, giving him a much-earned standing ovation as he jumped into the arms of his dad, who happens to be one of his coaches, and then took off to the stands to find the rest of his family. When I was able to catch up with him, he spoke about how all of his hard work had paid off.
You know, the decisions I had to make, the nights, those sleepless nights where I'm thinking, can I do it this year when everyone's expecting you to do it? You have all that pressure, and you know, I'd regret it the rest of my life if I didn't get up every day and work my hardest towards that goal and I didn't accomplish it. I didn't want to live with the regret of knowing, wow, you're 20 seconds away from a 4th state title. What could you have gotten an extra lift in, an extra practice in, and could you have gotten that done if you would have just had a little bit more motivation?
Right now, his season isn't over. Koenig and the rest of the Prairie du Chien team are competing at the team state tournament this weekend at the UW Fieldhouse. And Koenig said on Saturday that he would give up his individual title if it meant bringing home a team title for the Blackhawks. All right, and some big news out of Milwaukee yesterday. According to ESPN's Tim Bontemps, Milwaukee Bucks co-owner Mark Lasry has reached an agreement to sell his portion of the Bucks to Cleveland Brown owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam. The deal is still pending league approval, but it would be the second highest valuation ever for an NBA team, sitting at a $3.5 billion valuation. Lasry helped buy the Bucks in 2014 at a 25% stake, and since then the Bucks have turned into a real powerhouse, with Giannis being one of the best players in the NBA. For the Haslams, now the Browns haven't had a ton of success in the NFL, but it's no secret that they were willing to throw money at the franchise in hopes of improving it. And now if he brings that same attitude to Milwaukee, then who knows what the future holds for the Bucks. And if you tune into an MLB spring training game, you may notice a little change in pace. That's because new to the MLB this year, there will be a pitch clock. After receiving the ball from the catcher or the umpire, pitchers are required to begin their motion within 15 seconds if the bases are empty, or within 20 seconds with runners on base. There are also rules in place to make sure the batter is in the box quicker. Now, this may take some time to getting used to, but this is a change that will speed up the games and make it more appealing to today's sports fans. All right, that'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
More than 3 years after Brexit became official, the UK and the EU have finally struck a deal on how to handle trade in Northern Ireland, an issue that has created tension between the two. The European Commission president acknowledged the lingering tension and said the Windsor framework will let the two sides begin a new chapter. Today, the Supreme Court is set to hear arguments of President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program. Two cases are in front of the justices: whether the states and borrowers have the legal right to challenge the program, and if the Biden administration has the authority to eliminate federal student debt. Both cases argue the government doesn't have the authority to cancel loan debt under the proposed program rules. A final decision is expected before the court's summer break. Sisters Ashanti and Kadisha Williams come from a long line of American farmers who have stewarded land in the U.S. for over 100 years, but have never owned it. Now they're creating a community of farmers called the Blackyard Farm Cooperative. CBS Skylar Henry has the story.
This group of ladies may be small.
Sisters are all for one and one for all.
10 for 2.
But they run this large 4-acre farm just outside of Washington, D.C., where crops are coming, and more importantly for the group, so are an abundance of seeds.
What happened was people stopped saving seeds, and every year the price of seeds go up, and every year it's harder and harder to get the seeds you want.
Bonita Adib runs the Ujamaa Cooperative Farming Alliance under the nonprofit STEAM Onward, bringing together Black and Indigenous farmers in and around Maryland. And the initiative has gained national recognition.
We love watermelon, we love okra, we love sorghum, all those things that are important to our ancestors. That's what we love, and that's what we grow.
Across the nation, less than 1% of farms are Black-owned, which limits minorities' access to the $15 billion seed-growing industry. Adib rolled up her sleeves once she and her team recognized the need to promote minority representation in the agriculture space. They also addressed what she says is a lack of access to natural, unfertilized food. Ujama's progress is growing dividends. Their online seed catalog doubled in the last year and contains just about every seed you can think of, from squash to corn to quinoa. It's all there. The work is building a network of farmers with a range of experience.
What's your biggest takeaway from doing this work?
It's a sense of community, sense of seeing how others are working in their community, and there are thousands and thousands of us out there. And the only way we can beat any type of obstacle is to work together and work through it.
Bridging a gap of culture and connecting a new generation of growers.
Ujamaa Seeds just launched their second online catalog. Just last year, the group had nearly 1,000 seed orders across the country. They say they're committed to continuing to provide increased opportunities for underrepresented growers and communities. A Wisconsin judge is allowing a defense attorney to withdraw from the case after the suspect attacked them in court. 25-year-old Taylor Schaubness has pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease after killing a man last year. According to investigators, she told them she and the victim were using drugs and engaging in sexual play when he was strangled. In addition to homicide, she is also facing charges of amputating a corpse and sexual assault. At a hearing nearly 2 weeks ago, she attacked her attorney after the judge announced the trial would be delayed. Her new public defender will be present for a Friday hearing. Police say they found 2 victims who had been shot. 12-year-old Ronald Smith, whose body was found outside of the lounge, and a 17-year-old boy who was taken to a nearby hospital. He is expected to survive. Smith's grandmother, Keita Sisson, says that a couple of high school kids had been bullying her grandson on social media. She says at the party, a fight broke out, and that's when shots were fired. The owner of Buggin' Out Lounge says she's never experienced something like this.
We don't have problems here. Even the police last night when they were here said we're not a problem bar.
Archive, 1 child and 4 teens have now been killed in a shooting across the state of Wisconsin this year. Just last week, 9 homicides have been reported in the state. Madison police have confirmed the man found dead after a shooting at a Madison Quick Trip last Friday was wanted in a homicide case. 39-year-old Justin Kopmeyer was the man involved in the incident. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says officers confronted the 39-year-old man inside a Quick Trip. Both Kopmeyer and the officer fired gunshots in the incident. Barnes says Kopmeyer died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the Quick Trip bathroom.
We recognize that this is a traumatic event for many in our community. We hope that you will reach out to someone if you are struggling trying to make sense of this incident.
The incident is under investigation by the Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation. Bars in southeast Wisconsin could stay open until 4 a.m. during next year's Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. In Governor Evers' budget proposal, 14 counties would be allowed to extend the open hours of taverns from July 15th to July 19th, 2024. Those counties would have to approve extended hours for bars. A similar proposal was introduced when Milwaukee was supposed to host the 2020 Democratic National Convention, but the proposal died when the pandemic hit. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin and Attorney General Josh Kaul are calling on Facebook and Instagram's parent company to answer for poor customer service. The pair say Meta's self-help tool is not helping Wisconsin small businesses recover their hacked accounts. Some businesses have been waiting weeks or months to regain their accounts, and lost time translates to lost money. Baldwin and Kaul said Meta should provide support that actually helps users quickly. At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, 3 female students are making history in the sports broadcasting department. Andrew Bendistra shares their story.
I am Tia Sadlin here with Chrissy Birdsall at the Cole Center.
UW's student-run radio station celebrated its 21st birthday last week. A few days earlier, though, they made a different kind of history.
We just kind of, on our own, wanted to do an all-female broadcast. We didn't really look into the history of it at all.
I don't know if there was ever one before that. They said they were going to check their notes, and neither of them had seen an all-female broadcast in the 20-something years that WSUM has been a station.
On Monday, February 20th, the Trailblazing Trio formed UW's first ever all-female student sports broadcast team.
I think we set such a good standard, and I'm so excited to see more female broadcasts.
Once we finished that final call and took off our mics, I remember we all kind of had this sigh of relief, like we did it. It was an amazing experience.
Tia, a senior, was the only female in sports at WSUM her freshman year. As she looks down at the glass ceiling she's broken, it's cleared the path for the next generation.
every year it felt like we're getting further and further towards having more women involved. And Nick, the sports director right now, told us that there's 5 or 6 women in the training program right now. And so I feel so fortunate that the program has grown in the way that it has.
Sports is a male-dominated industry, and broadcasting magnifies that. So for all the girls that were told they can't,
You can't say that a girl can't do it, because we just did.
which means that for all the women that come after, this trio showed that it is possible.
With our women's broadcasters here, that it was a great first step, but I think that we're all kind of hoping for that to eventually become the norm rather than the exception.
The trio hope to continue commentating together to help pave the path for others who want to pursue careers in sports broadcasting.
Well, we are off to a nice quiet start here in downtown La Crosse with current conditions looking like this, mostly clear. Temperatures at 27, feel like of 27 as well. West winds at around 3 miles an hour. So we'll get checked now on the hour-by-hour forecast. We'll keep the mostly clear skies through the picture through at least 8 o'clock, and then we start to see partly cloudy conditions roll in by 10, followed by mostly cloudy to overcast skies come later this afternoon. Forecast highs today in La Crosse should reach around 41 with those mostly cloudy conditions overhead, but a bit seasonable though for this time of the year. Winds, on the other hand, should remain light and variable. For tonight, we drop down to 29. Rain and snow showers are expected early, followed by some snow showers that could last as we head into overnight tonight. Winds will be out of the easterly direction at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Driving conditions look good, mostly sunny skies for the morning, followed by mostly cloudy conditions by the mid-hour commute. And then as we take you into the evening commute, we are looking mainly cloudy, but still very quiet in terms of weather. We'll start to see some of that rain and snow kind of mix in and kind of push its way across the area later this evening. And we'll talk about that too in the full weather forecast after the break. But also coming up in our Buzz Report, after 2 decades, Middle Earth is returning to the silver screen. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, we are off to a nice clear start this morning, as you can see behind me there from City Cam 8. Current conditions in La Crosse, 27 degrees, slightly on the cool side. Visibility at around 9 miles. River Stage is at 5.63 feet and is dropping. Meanwhile, to the north, conditions for you folks in Eau Claire, 24 degrees. Visibility here at around 9 miles. So overall conditions are looking nice and quiet here for you. Temperatures in Black River Falls at 23 degrees. Sparta's at 28. We're seeing the upper 20s to low 30s down south, especially for you folks down in Boscobel. You're currently down at 32 degrees. Let's get checked now on your forecast highs today, and I can tell you that we're mainly going to be into the low 40s further south that you are today, especially way down in Boscobel. You guys could be very close to near 50, 46 today per Shane, but much colder though back to the north, where we'll see temperatures today into the mid to upper 30s. As we head towards noon today, we're looking at 36 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, 39 degrees with overcast conditions by late this afternoon, and then by early this evening, we'll watch out for some scattered rain showers moving in with a temperature of roughly 35 degrees. We're looking at mainly clear skies now. We did see a bit of some clouds here overnight, but you can see those clouds though have quickly exited the area. So all is quiet now, but that's not the case though as we head into tonight for our northern communities such as Dunn County, Chippewa County, Rusk County. You are all under this winter weather advisory. This is going to start at midnight actually, and then go into Wednesday tomorrow at 6 p.m. during the afternoon. That's because we could be looking at some accumulating snowfall, which we'll get to here in a second. But I do want to go ahead and time things out right now on Sky Tracker, and you can see those cloudy skies beginning to move in from the west. That's why we're thinking that we're going to be looking at a mainly cloudy day, because the clouds will continue to increase there from the west out ahead of the storm system that is going to be giving us our next best chance of seeing precipitation yet again. But very similar to what happened yesterday when we had this icy conditions to the north and the rain showers to the south. That's kind of what we're seeing here today, but except the only difference is that we'll be looking at snow to the north and rain here to the south. This will continue as we head into tonight here as well. And then as we take you into early tomorrow morning, again, more of the same snow, maybe a bit of mix here the further north that you go with some rain showers focused down to the south. We'll get a bit of a break though by late tomorrow morning into the early afternoon, and then possibly a second round kind of moves in to spawn some more snow showers well to the north. Snow tracker showing us that we could be looking at around 2 to 4 inches here for our extreme northern fringes of the viewing area. We'll keep our eyes on that. The rest of us not looking at any snow whatsoever, and rainfall totals will be very light, less than 1/10 of an inch from this system. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and we're going to be looking at cloudy skies really throughout the rest of this week. Highs into the upper 30s, low 40s, and lows in the 20s.
Thanks, Derek. The multiple SAG awards for cast members of Everything Everywhere All at Once made it official. No sweeps this year. According to award show website Gold Derby, for the first time in 20 years, no actor can sweep their category in all the major awards. Will that make it tougher to win Oscar pools? We'll find out when the 95th Academy Awards ceremony takes place on Sunday, March 12th. After 20 years, The Lord of the Rings is coming back to the big screen. Warner Brothers Discovery has announced that multiple new movies set in Middle-earth are in the works. Currently, Warner Brothers Animation and its sister company, New Line Cinema, are already in production for an upcoming movie. The anime film is set 183 years before the events of The Lord of the Rings and tells the story of Helm Hammerhand, a king of Rohan.
I'm back, baby.
Oh, that's what you get.
Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as a retiring CIA agent who's forced back into the files for one last job after he discovers a family secret in the new Netflix action comedy series Fubar. It's Schwarzenegger's first starring role in the TV series. The 8-episode season of Fubar debuts May 25th. Fubar. Are you going to watch that?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many. There's some movies out there that I do want to check out. So yeah,
that might not be one of them for me. Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Happy 8th birthday to Addison. Addison loves animals and enjoys being outside.
And happy 8th birthday to Tristan. Tristan likes to play in the snow and is interested in farming.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and you want to look for that Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your morning news now. Today, the Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program. 2 cases are in front of the justices. In one, 6 Republican-led states say they would be harmed financially if the program goes into effect. The other involves 2 borrowers in Texas who don't qualify for debt forgiveness. It's unclear when the court will make its decision in the cases. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin and Attorney General Josh Kaul are calling on Facebook and Instagram's parent company to answer for poor customer service. The pair say Meta's self-help tool is not helping Wisconsin small businesses recover their hacked accounts. Some businesses have been waiting weeks or months to regain their accounts, and lost time translates to lost money. Baldwin and Kaul said Meta should provide support that actually helps users quickly. The USDA and the Hunger Task Force want to help seniors get the nutrition they need with the monthly Senior Stock Box program. Seniors will get free access to fruits and vegetables, protein, and more. The Hunger Task Force's executive director says over 1,500 seniors in La Crosse County are eligible, but only 250 are using the program. Ages 60 and older with a monthly household income below $1,580 a month can apply. You can sign up for a box or to volunteer by calling the Hunger Task Force.
With the food share dollars going down as of March 1st, seniors who are on the food share enrollments are going to see their benefits drop drastically. So this is a box that we can provide to help them out.
Ages 60 and older with a monthly household income below $1,580 a month can apply. You can sign up for a box or to volunteer by calling the Hunger Task Force.
The residential affordability program we propose would be funded by all customers at a cost of about $1 a month for a typical residential customer. And really the goal is to lower eligible customers for the program, lower their bills so that it's no greater than 4% of their annual household income.
A new Xcel Energy plan wants to help some households pay their electricity or gas bills. The company has sent the state's Public Service Commission a proposal that would give $5 million a year in relief for lower income. An Xcel official says 28,000 customers are currently enrolled in the Wisconsin's Home Energy Assistance Program. Zeke says they expect the program will be approved and launched before the start of the next heating season. And heads up for drivers, construction on LaCrosse Street starts up again next Monday. This phase of the LaCrosse Street project will reconstruct the road between 22nd Street and Losey Boulevard, including the entire intersection. According to WSDOT's website, the project is expected to be finished in May. That's not the only project beginning next week. Crews will begin work on South Avenue in LaCrosse. This project will put in 3 roundabouts at West Avenue, 16th Street, and Ward Avenue. There will also be pedestrian crossing improvements. WSDOT expects the project to finish in the fall. The Lacrosse Battle of the Books is back. The UWL English Department is hosting district competition of Battle of the Books today from 9 to 2 p.m. The event will take place in the Bluffs Ballroom Student Union. In the morning from 9 to 11:30, 84th and 5th graders from Lacrosse School District Elementary Schools will compete in teams to see who knows their book the best. And from 12 to 2 p.m., it will be middle school students. Future educators are encouraged to attend and help cheer on the competitors. Tomorrow, a conversation on education. Lacrosse School District Superintendent Aaron Engel and Biz News publisher Vicki Markison will discuss enrollment, budget issues, and community relations. That program runs from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Lunda Center at Western Technical College. Anyone can attend, or you can join the conversation virtually. We have more information on news8000.com.
As you head out the door this morning, mostly clear skies, temperatures upper 20s, low 30s. So off to a great start already here this morning, but we're going to be looking at increasing clouds, giving way to mostly cloudy skies as we head into the late morning into the early afternoon. Late this afternoon, overcast skies, highs around 41 degrees. Watching out for a chance of rain and even a little bit of snow, maybe even mixing together, especially the further north that you go. Let's get checked out on your 8-day forecast. We're going to be looking at that rain snow chance for tomorrow, 43 degrees. And then the rest of this week will be mainly cloudy with highs into the upper 30s, low 40s, low temperatures mainly in the 20s.
I'm missing the sun.
I know,
I need
same.
some vitamin D.
You know, when I was making the forecast today, I was like, wow, we're going to go several days without seeing any
It's
sunshine.
going to be so gloomy.
I know.
Everyone's going to be tired.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long work week.
It is, but hopefully we'll get some sunshine in the long range. We'll see.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you, Derek.
Yep.
Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. And thank you for watching News 8 Now. We'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day, and thank you for watching News 8. We will catch y'all later.